development type of seminars or conferences together.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
Joel's a wonderful guy. I'm so grateful to have connected with him. And so you must know Ryan Ellis then?
Yes. Yes, I know Ryan Ellis. I'm not. I don't know him too well, but I've been in common areas with Ryan. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Right.
And I met Ryan and Joel through Ryan's sister, Stephanie Ellis.
Uh-huh.
Her and I went to my housemate's immersion in Ojai, and I met her there. And then she introduced me to Ryan and Charity Stone, and of course I met Joel through that as well. So that's how we all got connected.
Okay. Yeah. I
It's
mean,
pretty
some of
cool.
the common.
So thank you.
Uh-huh. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I think we had a little bit of a delay.
No problem.
Can you hear me okay, Duke?
Yes.
Good? Okay, cool. Sometimes I get a little bit of a delay. But what I'd like to do today, Duke, is to get to know you better, understand like your background, where you came from, what your childhood was like, and your interest in personal development, also what your passions are, what you want to do in the world, what you have done in the world. Just to have an idea of where you come from and what you'd like to also accomplish. And then I'd of course love to share what the Evo Room is all about and what we offer to people, um, and then we'll go from there. How's that sound?
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, no problem. Awesome.
Beautiful. So, yeah, if you'd like to begin, we'll take 30 minutes for this interview. If you want to give a few minutes, again, of what your background is, I'd love to start there.
Sure. Okay, let's see. To start, I am 39 years old right now. I work as a physician. I just moved to San Diego. Well, I've been in San Diego for 5 years. I'm from the East Coast. And I go through these cycles of introspective self-help development type of seminars and these waves where I start reading a lot of books. And I do this probably I probably go through it every 8 or 10 years as I go through different cycles of my life. And then I find that I'm needing change. And so I'm going through one of those waves right now of a lot of introspection and trying to reach out through different seminars and stuff like that. Things that I've done recently is I've been part of a men's group in San Diego, the same one that Ryan Ellis and also Joel is part of. It's called The Mission, and
Mm,
that's run out of Pacific Beach at one of the a house there that the guys commonly meet at. Um, and so I've been part of that group since October of last year, and I've made some improvements in some areas of my life through that group. Most recently, I went to a conference called the Men's Conference that was held in San Diego.
my
That was approximately three or 4 weeks ago, and a lot of 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 motivation and changes came out of that conference for me too as well. Um, Things that are going on in my life. Let me see. Uh, the most recent wave that I've been riding is of improvement is in the areas of relationships. I'm currently in a long-term relationship where we've been together for many years, but we've broken apart, come back together, broken apart, come back together, and I'm trying to improve that relationship because um, uh, because there's more of an issue of I want some depth to it,
mm,
and there's been a lot of truth issues and kind of in trying to figure out what I want, what the other person wants. And I mean, in the midst of all that, I was dating other people, and so a lot of that came out during the men's conference. That things that I had to work on and address, and so I've really been working on that a lot, actually, ever since the men's conference. That the men's conference really helped me grasp with that. what I got out of the men's group in San Diego is it helped me figure out what my passions are and what my higher purpose is. That's what the men's group has helped me figure out in the past 6 months. And my higher purpose has to do with um, I really have a strong interest in raising a very loving and awesome family. With my long-term girlfriend, we do have a child together, and so out of all this, in trying to figure out what my higher purpose was, and not realizing it, is that a lot of the decisions I've been making had to do with trying to make my home situation in my life comfortable for having and raising a really good family. And I haven't really realized that, and I haven't been focusing on that. And I've been subconsciously doing that, but not consciously doing that. And so there have been a lot of conflicts in my decisions, and now things are kind of beginning to straighten up.
Mm, I understand completely, and thank you for sharing that. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so that from me telling you what I've gotten out so far of the men's group and also the men's conference. Um, I mean, in talking to some of the guys out of the men's group, there's been a lot of trying to dabble my foot in other kind of programs. That's how I got exposure to your group through Joel. Through the guys in the men's group are very oriented in insight and development, and so through the guys in the men's group, I'm able to figure out different avenues of like what you guys are offering.
Mm, that's beautiful, and it sounds like your core desire is to develop your relationships and connections with the people around you. Is that correct?
Yes, that's the most current phase of what I'm trying to work on most recently. Yes,
Mm,
I mean there is a small smidgen of getting my stuff together with my career and stuff, but I mean in terms of my career, I'm doing I'm happy with my career more or less, but there are a lot of details that I need to focus on. But that hasn't been my main focus. But the career issues are kind of on the side. Some other things I'd like to work on at some point.
awesome. So for you in the future, what is it that you'd like to accomplish? Like, so in developing the relationships, what's the long-term vision that you have as far as what you want to accomplish before you leave this earth?
Mm, okay, so my dating life had to do with most recently. Um, I had taken a break from my long-term girlfriend, and I was dating another woman. And this other woman, right now we're all living in the same house. There's three of us.
Mm,
Um, and so my long-term girlfriend, I'm with her. The ex-girlfriend, she's now a housemate,
mm,
and we are platonic and strictly friends, and we're still very close, but it's a very kind of a supportive role for each
mm,
other. She's dating other people. My current girlfriend is okay with it, um, and but when I was dating this ex-girlfriend, something happened that shifted for me in dating, where I reached a glass ceiling because all my what I've been doing with relationships in the past 10 years is I've been very self-serving and not very truthful, and not committing. And I haven't been doing that, and I've been doing that and not committing. I haven't been truthful about it. But while I was dating this ex-girlfriend, I ended up hitting this last thing where I actually became very attracted and attached to her, and I wanted to proceed with her. But at the last minute, I stopped because I still had all these issues with my current girlfriend that we were still very attached, me and the current girlfriend. I mean, as a result, we have a child. So I
hmm.
have a child with a current girlfriend, and so I had at one point to make a decision: who am I gonna move forward with?
Mm,
And both women were telling me to make a decision, and I ended up choosing to go with my current girlfriend because of the child, and not with the ex-girlfriend. And the ex-girlfriend I really actually became very connected to spiritually.
Mm.
So, so because I was not able to proceed with this ex-girlfriend, because I had all these other connections with, the mother of the child, I basically hit a glass ceiling where I'm like, I pursued a relationship. I didn't have all my baggage cleared up. I hit a glass ceiling in that relationship, and I'm not moving forward with it, which I wish I could have. But I now I decided that it's more important to me to take care of this child and the mother. And so now I'm trying to foster that kind of relationship with the mother of the child.
That's beautiful, Duke. That's beautiful. I love, of course, it's not the norm in in our culture to be in the experience that you're having right now, and to have that experience and to have the insights that you do and the desire to learn from them and create, harmony between all is really admirable.
Um, the part of the reason, I mean, what I really enjoy about the men's group, the mission in San Diego, is I've opened up to them about my current social situation, personal life that I just discussed with you, and they're very supportive. And they're one of a group where I feel comfortable in talking to them. Like you just told me that it's a very unusual situation. It is, and for me to speak about that situation with people at work, no, I wouldn't be able to, or wouldn't want
Right,
to.
right.
But to be able to speak about it with the men in the men's group who are very supportive, and they're not more of just finding it a comical situation or jeering at it or non-supportive,
Mm.
but it's actually a supportive environment of guys who understand, and they open up with their own complicated situations. Um, yeah. So I appreciate being in an environment where I'm with like-minded people who can understand and let me to be myself and open up like this.
That's wonderful. I think it's something that's valuable in any individual's life to be able to share, what's going on in their minds and in their bodies and in their hearts from a place of not feeling like they're going to be judged or reprimanded for the things that they feel and share. It's an important space to be in, and it's not a space that is all too common, let's just say. And it's great to hear that you found that space that allows you to share and then receive reflection, and from that reflection gain the perspective that you need to move forward in a way that's serving you and you know and positive, of course. That's what the core at the core of the Evo room is. One of the things that we practice on and we focus on is creating deep connection, not only through um, through groups that include men, but also women as well, because there's so many different perspectives on how relationships can unfold. And just for this last threshold experience we had on Saturday, we had a segment where we were acting out certain scenarios and how we could be more conscious in our relationships, whether romantic or not. So to have that type of space where people can practice those things that we don't normally practice is really, really important to our growth and to really tapping into our fullest potential. So I'm glad to hear that you're engaged in that. Um, you see the value in it, and rightly so. I would believe that you would also give that space to others. When they're sharing themselves from a deep place and being open and vulnerable, it feels like to me, and I sense in you that you would give them a space to uh, that would feel supportive to them, just as you would want for your own life.
Yes. The other thing, a point of growth that I recently participated in was that as a result of the men's conference, that pushed me to seek counseling, couples counseling with my current girlfriend, the child's mom. And so we went to a current couples counseling session with Dave Buddha. Do you know who Dave Buddha
Yeah,
is?
for sure.
Yeah, so Dave Buddha, yeah, he was part of the mission, and my girlfriend and I went to couples session with Dave Buddha and Paula,
Mm,
and that was a pretty powerful session, and that was a little bit of a benchmark. So we did that after the men's conference. We did that, I don't know, maybe 3 weeks ago or 2 weeks ago. Yeah, I think 3 weeks ago, and there was a lot of in that one session that was, I don't know, 3 hours. A lot of truth came out of that of where are we now, and where are we trying to head between me and and my girlfriend. And it was so that was another point of growth recently, and who I've worked with recently. And yeah, yeah. So.
That's beautiful. Yeah, Dave is part of this community that has been growing up here in Encinitas. I'm sure you know quite a few of them. Sounds like from the relationships that you hold and that you've shared with me thus far. Uh, and so I get a great sense now of who you are, Duke, and I thank you again for sharing yourself and what your experience has been, and also what you desire out of life and what you want to accomplish. I'd love to take this time now to answer any questions that you have about the EvoRoom, and fire off whenever you're ready.
Yeah, one question I wanted to confirm is that um, I get the understanding that there is a segment of EvoRoom that is offering meetings and such in San Diego. So that's why I'm interested, because you guys are local. I don't have to travel very far.
Correct. That is correct.
Okay. Um, yeah, and so I mean, I'm already kind of part of the men's group, and dabbling with different venues of forms of introspection and improvement in a group setting.
Hmm.
And so EvoRoom is another one out there of the many. And the reason why I'm looking into it is because it was presented to me and suggested to me by, recommended to me by Joel.
Hmm.
So, and I respect his recommendations enough to look into it when he tells me this is worth looking into.
All right. That's awesome. And what we offer to individuals is something that I've just found for myself is something really valuable, which is accelerated growth. So in offering the Evo Room, one thing that I believe is really important for not only myself and yourself, it's important to humanity, is that we have all these problems that exist, right? Environmentally, socially, economically. And in order for us to stave off these problems that could lead, to a place that's undesirable to live, I we have to work quickly, right? Especially with the environment, global warming, and the seas rising. I mean, there could be lots of more destruction going on in our world. So the question is, well, how do you actually, you know, solve these problems and solve them quickly? And the answer that has come to me a long time ago is that we not work on the problems themselves, but we work on the problems that exist within humanity, because the things that we experience in the outside world is just a reflection of what's going on within the collective mind, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
So when going inward, doing as you're doing now, Duke, and um, doing the personal growth work, then we receive insights that allow us to heal ourselves. And then once we're healed, then it's all about creation and understanding our gifts, our purpose, our power, and then turning around and shining whatever light that we shine the brightest at to others, so that we can inspire others, inspire their growth. So
Mm-hmm.
what the Evo Room offers is, as I mentioned earlier, it allows people to accelerate their growth. And how? Well, unbeknownst to me, in the beginning of this, I didn't realize that actually having fun and play isn't one of the most effective tools for accelerated growth. And really understanding why recently is because when you're in your element and in joy and in bliss, you're producing as a human being more positive, greater thoughts. And the result of positive and greater thoughts is what? Positive, greater action. So my gift and something that I do really well is I have fun and I play. And you'll notice that in the photos for the Evo Room, and it's unlike other, groups or whatnot, where most of the education is based on the traditional way that education is delivered, where one person's teaching and everyone else is a student, and uh, the active portion of it isn't prominent. Let's just say, and having fun and play isn't at the forefront of what people are doing. And that's at the forefront of what we do. It's like if we're not having a good time, then we're not doing our work to its fullest. because people connect better when they're having fun and when they play. They download information a lot better when they're in joy and in play. So that's what we bring people back to, but and offering the seeds of growth in the 5 core categories of life. You have relationships, nutrition, career, um, emotional well-being, and physical well-being. So if you're not solid and balanced in one of those categories, then you're probably in suffering in some way, right? If your career is not healthy, then it's going to affect your relationships, and it's going to affect you how you eat and all of that. So we focus on those categories within the Evo Room, but using fun and play as how we deliver the experience. And just so you have the traditional way of delivering information, which is basically giving people concepts and thoughts, and information. But what we found that helps again to accelerate growth is to actually have the experiences to create feelings instead of just thinking about things, right? So how do you? It's almost like a flight simulator, but for growth and personal growth. We're simulating certain things that happen in the real world for you to experience them and feel them. And then with that feeling that you capture, you can then emanate that out into the world to attract those similar experiences. And this is all based off of quantum physics, science, and all of that to prove that with the things that we do give people results.
Okay. Oh yeah, one of the things that draws me to the Evo Room is this is the next step for me in this journey I'm on of introspection and improvement, where most recently I was doing it through a men's group where it was restricted to just the male gender, and
Mm-hmm.
now I'm beginning to try to incorporate my partner into this improvement, and she's very open in joining me on this journey of looking at how she can improve what's going on in her life so that me and her can become
Uh-huh.
closer too.
Beautiful.
And so the Evo Room seems like actually the next natural step in us joining something where we can both participate together.
That's amazing. What great, perception from the both of you to want to do that journey together. Because when you're doing separately and you're growing and you're accelerating and you're not having the same conversations about these things or understanding each other from that realm, then it's going to create disconnection, right? And so
Right.
it really makes sense that you work together and do things together. So it's awesome that you're having that thought and yes to the, you know, the answer of is this the right step for you. I believe within the Evo Room we have not only the different genders but also different demographics from all walks of life. You have people that are wealthy, and you have people that may not be wealthy but they have resources and are great at relationships. So there's all these spectrums of individuals that we can um, engage in, and in that engagement provide insights into different realms of life that maybe aren't in our area.
Yeah, yeah. So, as a result of just looking at the website, the Evil Room, recently in the past 2 days, I forwarded the link to my girlfriend last night, and I have yet to discuss it with her. And I didn't tell her I was going to have an interview with you, but I'll discuss it with her later tonight, and then get her on this as well. Yeah, yeah. I mean, depending on how interested she is, but I have a feeling she will be interested as soon as I start explaining to her what it's about.
Yeah, it seems like you guys are both on the same page as far as your development and what you want to do, with each other. So
Right.
that's really awesome. Um,
Right.
so at this point now, Duke, I want to thank you again for taking the time, having this conversation, sharing yourself and what's going on in your life. Um, and I'd like to now have the opportunity to, and let me back up a little bit. The reason why we do these interviews is because we want to get to know individuals, understand where they're coming from, because we like to create each experience uniquely for the people that are involved in each group. So that's, it's making it more relevant to you, and the more relevant it is, the greater the impact that we can make in your life. So what I'll do now is take this information, and as we're forming the different groups that we take on these experiences, we'll figure out, okay, Duke matches with these people because of their, this is what they think and how they believe and what they want in the world, right? So that's what we'll do at this point is, take in all the information as we start forming the group for the next experience, reach out to you if we see that you're fit for this next group coming up. Either way, you'll be getting information where you could tap into some of the things that we do. We have Evo mixes all the time, which are parties and fun events that we do that are no cost to the people that we invite to those events. And it's just a great way for people to interact, practice connection, get a feel for what the Evo Room's all about, the community that it brings into the world, and the discussions that we have, and just have some fucking fun.
Okay. Okay, that's great. Sounds good.
So that's what we'll do. And yeah, again, thank you, Duke. I really appreciate it. And then your girlfriend, just have her fill out that same form that you did, if she's interested, and then one of our staff will contact her, set up the interview like we did today, and we'll do the same there.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, yeah, I would have liked to have joined this past Saturday, but it's fine that didn't work out. I mean, I was scheduled to work that day anyway, and I was trying to cancel out of work to join the Evil Room, and then for the event this past Saturday. And then once I found out that it was all filled up, then it was fine because I couldn't. It was just so hard for me to get off work anyway.
Everything in time, Duke. You know what I mean? Like the universe, when it's right for you and it's time for you to do it, that time will happen. I guarantee that. And I was like, you are the right caliber of individual that we'd like to have in the Evil Room, because really the core of what creates such a wonderful experience for everyone that participates is the people themselves. So we take great care in having these conversations, really gaining understanding of who these people are that we're actually going to be interacting with, and making sure that the like-mindedness is there so the connection happens. And when you connect with people, that is the source of power right there. When you're seeing the way that you are, when you can be open and expressive and not feel judged and all that stuff, but it takes a certain individual to have that experience. And so I have that feeling of you, and so again, thank you for sharing yourself and being open.
Okay, no problem. Sounds great. Thank you.
All right, Duke. Have a great day, man. We'll talk soon.
Okay. All right. Take care. Thank you. Thanks for your time.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.